that like and subscribe button, and let's dive in.
Time for me to show you the scariest books that I have in the bookstore. Here goes. We're going to start out with a 225-year-old grimoire, or a book of spells. What about this Japanese ghost scroll from the early 1800s? This is 6 feet long, and that is a ghost scroll. What about this penny dreadful copy of Frankenstein? Originally printed in 1818, this is in the late 1800s, is the first abridged version of Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Let's keep going. Okay, back to witches. Malleus Maleficarum, or Hammer of the Witches. This is the most sinister book ever printed on witchcraft. It is responsible for the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people between 1500 and 1750. Malleus Maleficarum, or Hammer of the Witches. Time for me to show you the scariest books.
Would you read any of those? If so, which one?
In 2001, a video surfaced out of Redlands, California, featuring a demonic figure caught on camera, and this took place inside what they called the Barton Villa, which is still a historic landmark to this day. Now, this was filmed before YouTube existed, but still managed to go viral. And throughout its roughly 20-minute runtime, a group of friends explore and break into the Barton mansion, because at this time, it was abandoned and vacant. Eventually, after exploring the outside, the night falls and they explore the inside. At this point, everything's normal, aside from being creepy. It wasn't until they walked upstairs that this happened. Take a look.
Cover my bag, alright. What the hell's that? Down on the floor. Right there. Oh, shit! Oh, no!
Get in. Oh, go. Yeah, go. Go. No.
Someone's in there?
Swear to God. Swear to God.
Oh shit. Hell yeah.
You guys are lying.
We're not kidding. No.
Go left. Go. Hit the gas. Go.
I can't see your freaking cameras in my way.
Oh fuck.
You guys are lying. Someone help.
No. Serious.
After reaching the top of the stairs, they see something that only can be described as demonic, holding what looks to be a lantern of some kind. In addition, the figure was so tall it had to bend under the doorframe. Now, there were rumors of cult-like activity here, and the legend said that a demon resided on the second floor. And to this day, the creators never came out and said that they faked this. But as always, let me know what you think.
That's absolutely terrifying.
Apollo does not have dominion on the earth now. He's physically imprisoned until they unlock him.
Is he one of the angels from like Jude 1:7, I think?
He's not an angel. He is a man who became another thing. He goes by Dionysus. He goes by a lot of different names. Remember, Yahweh's weapon at Babel, they built a great city, which was the throne of Satan, the Eye of Ra, a physical city that he would ascend into the heavens with and live as Mount Olympus, we call it in other mythology, physically live in the sky in a cloaked city. That's his city in the sky that you'll see referenced all over, like the Death Star that's going to come back when the Father casts him down to the earth. Woe to you, inhabitants of the earth, because the God of this age has come down. The dragons come down and he has great wrath. He's only got 42 months. But his shot caller on the earth is going to be the beast who rises. That's Apollo. It's not some Nikolai Carpathia and Tim LaHaye and Jerry B. Jenkins Left Behind series brainwashed America and the world to think that it's some dude who's going to just show up one day and be real politically active. Not that guy. It's named in the Bible explicitly for a reason. It's not like questionable thing. Death follows him. That's Anubis. That's the jackal-headed god. That's the false prophet. It's plainly said in the scriptures. They are going to come and physically inhabit actual thrones on the earth. The dragon, the devil, Azazel, is going to give his power, his reign, over to Apollo. They won't go by these names, right? They'll call him like the Traveler. They're going to call him celestial hosts, these gods, these aliens that have come, the guys who gave us life. Thank you, Prometheus. Those guys. That'll be much more the narrative that's conducive for their agenda. But
kind of reminds me of that, what is it, the 3I Atlas, 3L Atlas, whatever. What if that has something to do with trying to prepare us for something?
These X-Men, like, they are literally children, bloodline inheritance children from Nimrod, the tower. Others come from other gods, other immortals that taught the secrets of heaven. It's not always that they had with women to inseminate their seed. Sometimes they took their blood, they feed on humans, they get blood in their bodies, and when they run out, it physically runs out of their body, they need to recharge. They can give that blood to people to make them their children.
Like vampires?
In a different way that circumvents the curse. They're lawyers, and they're looking for loopholes, and if they let you drink their blood and not you, they've got a way out.
Speaking of CERN,
at CERN, they've used their collider to open up a portal to communicate with extraterrestrial beings.
Whoa.
And one of them are the occupants from 3I Atlas.
To be clear, CERN already has a room and a technology to open a portal to talk to extraterrestrials.
Yes.
But recently, they also used it to communicate with the beings on 3I Atlas.
That's correct.
Okay, go on.
So those beings introduced themselves as such, like so we are the occupants of this object, and they did not show up physically. They show up as holograms. Now, they apparently showed up as holograms. They looked tall, that's what she said, and they communicated telepathically with every single scientist in the room.
Wow.
And they all got the same message, which is that they are coming in peace, and they're just trying to come over here to gather all the star seeds of this planet.
So when you remote viewed, did you pick up on that intention as well?
Yes and no. I believe that the direct reptilians, will be coming to Earth, but as to know what the exact intent, that I could not really say.
Well, this is an extraordinary development.
It is.
You remote viewed 3I Atlas. Did you do that on your own, or were you tasked with this assignment?
I was tasked by the same intelligence people I'm working with to look at the object, because those had concerns. But what I saw as a remote viewer was a mothership with occupants on board, and they were mostly direct reptilian occupants.
Okay.
That's what, I saw as a remote viewer.
And that was corroborated by other remote viewers seeing the same thing.
That's correct. Yes.
The ship and Draco.
That's correct. One of them is John Vivenko, who is also a known remote viewer. And he announced it publicly as well. And other people from the Stargate program as well. So they basically all came up with the same idea. At CERN, they've used their...
Guys, talk to me. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Are Draco reptilians actually high-level demons? Are they coming through on 3I Atlas? Is everyone talking about this to try to prepare us for some type of contact from some other worldly beings? I don't know, but something's going on.
Ancient India, they viewed stars as gateways to essentially download higher conscious information. I know, I thought it was crazy too, but hear me out, this might change your mind. If you use frequency with light, you combine the two, you could essentially create a star map with shorthand icons using light and how it connects to create a map. Our internet works on light, and things like Stonehenge use very basic methods to achieve incredible precision. But this is why India is so interesting. So I talk about these ceiling features all the time because they look like a freaking particle collider. But there's these little floral decorations that get overshadowed by the big guys. These sent me down the rabbit hole, because out of all the ways you could draw or carve a flower, they picked ones that matched up with cymatic patterns every time. Not even kidding. Every one that I've looked at matches up with a cymatic pattern perfectly. But how do they link up with the stars? And this is actually the most obvious part. There's a temple, I'm not going to say it because I'm going to butcher that, but it has the lunar stations and the zodiac carved on the ceiling. Each one of these patterns is unique and represents a constellation in their zodiac. Now, all temples from India to cathedrals use light and the manipulation of it to track alignment. Same in Egypt. Same at Stonehenge. A seasonal calendar tracking a very far off star does not make sense. But ships do, to get to specific destinations here in the water, which is exactly how they described it in the Vedic tradition. In the Mayamata, these patterns fix the energy to the building. In the Shastras, they say this is the unfolding of the cosmos. So you allow that light to come through calculated openings in the temple. Then unfold the light using a cymatic pattern that matches up with the light's frequency. Through the water, you unfold the star's pattern with cymatics, make a map of the Vedic internet system. That's magic.
Apparently, music is just meant to cast a spell on all of us.
I said, David, I'd like to ask you a couple questions. I said, I already know the answers, but I've been gone for 5 years. I'd like to know if certain things are still the way they were when I left. I said, do they still take the master to the temple room? Yeah. I said, do they still have the Coven conjure demons into the master? He said, of course. I said, now, I got to know something. What's the main reason for rock music? He said, the same as when you were in, so that we can play spells on people that we couldn't cast spells upon.
And that's coming from a guy who was in the music industry. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. Stay weird.
Man, I really don't even listen to too much music that has people speaking in it. What were those things called? Those drums that people be playing with their thumbs? I need to get a soundtrack of that, to be honest with you. Yeah, something like this. Look how serious his face is. Man, hit it. This a little snippet, y'all. Something like that, man. I might need to learn how to hit that, man. You just feel good listening to it. I don't know if it's the vibrations or what. No foul language, nobody talking crazy. It's just makes you feel good.
Now you can say whatever you like, and you can think you want. But brother, we cannot build like this today. This is the palace of Venera, located in Italy. And they say it was built in 1658. Just look at the design. Just look at it. What kind of technique was they using? The building is so wide you cannot find a close-up of it anywhere on the internet. The best you're gonna get is an aerial shot like this. But when you look at the original design, you realize that the palace is actually a city. Oh my days. Now you can say whatever you...
I got literal goosebumps looking at this. This has to be like some type of organ or whatever. It doesn't make sense. I want to hear it in action. If you thought I wasn't going to hit you with another specimen today, think again. Alright, we have a Spessarite garnet with quartz, mica, and feldspar. What would you guys name this? You guys already know where I'm going with this. If I had to name this specimen, we might as well say this at the same time. Petrified strawberry cheesecake. I mean, come on. Or we could even, no, that's definitely strawberry or raspberry. No, we'll say petrified strawberry cheesecake. That's the name of this specimen. And you guys already know, because it's Sunday, we got to double up on it. So this one, man, what is this? Aqua morganite with lepidite and microlite. If I had to name this specimen, what would you guys, I want to hear your names for this one. This one's a little bit more difficult, but I do have a name. If I were to name this, I would call it the firmament clouds. Yeah.
Okay, what if I told you that the royal family's biggest ever secret isn't in the tabloids or the history books, it's hidden in the portraits, a bloodline that they erased, faces that they literally repainted, and a version of history that they flipped right under our noses. This isn't a myth, it's real, and it's documented history. Check this out. Now, for this, we're going to have to rewind all the way to the 1700s. King George III, the Mad King who lost the American colonies. He was married to a woman called Queen Charlotte.
You gotta admit, this Cruella de Vil type fur coat he's got on is mighty dapper of this individual.
And what most people didn't realize is that Charlotte had documented Moorish and North African ancestry through Portuguese royalty. And at the time, observers even described her features as mulatto and African. And early portraits even actually showed this, but over the years, those portraits were literally whitened, altered to fit the empire's racial image. A mixed heritage queen didn't align with their perfect royal narrative, so history got a makeover. Now, here's where it gets a little bit more suspicious. One of King George III's sons, Prince Augustus Frederick, secretly married Lady Augusta Murray. This literally broke royal protocol, so the marriage was completely ripped to pieces. But not before that they had 2 children. And because that union wasn't official, those children were wiped out of the line of the succession. No titles, no royal recognition. Their bloodline became quietly a footnote, deliberately kept out of the spotlight. Now get this, historians to this day believe that descendants still live in Britain right now, carrying the royal bloodline that the crown pretends doesn't exist. So, for decades, portraits were repainted, records were quietly edited, and family trees were rewritten. This wasn't some accident, this was some calculated cleanup. The monarchy needed a clean, white, controlled image, so they did what elites always do. They flipped the truth, dressed it up in a polished narrative, and buried the rest in plain sight. And because most people never questioned the official story, the story stayed hidden for centuries. So here's the real question. If they can erase an entire royal bloodline this easily, what else have they quietly rewritten? History stops looking like a record and starts looking a little bit more like a little scriptedy-doodah, and the biggest secrets, they're not just buried, they're hanging right on the palace walls on all of the portraits. But obviously, for the sensory reasons, this was just for entertainment, beautiful people. Don't forget to pop me a follow, and I'm as fictional as a dinosaur, baby.
Someone said, I think their biggest secret is that they are Canaanites from the Bible. What?
You have been lied to. They told you to work hard, save a little, retire at 65, and that this was freedom. But if 40 years of labor ends in a pension too small to live on, what do you call that? You were not born to serve until death. You were not born to watch life pass while you trade your soul for a salary. The world does not reward the obedient. It rewards the man who sees the trap and walks out of it. And that man begins here. Listen closely, because if you miss this message, you may work to the grave and still die poor. You believe you are free. You believe that hard work will pay off. You believe that one day, maybe after 40 years of labor, if you've been loyal, if you've saved, if you followed the system, you will get your reward. But I say this to you without apology. If 40 years of labor ends in dependency, then who truly owned your life? I have seen it too many times. Men who gave their entire youth to a job, only to reach the age of 65 with a tired body, a trembling hand, and a fearful glance at the calendar because their money is running out. They obeyed every rule. They stayed quiet. They did what they were told. They worked. They waited. And when the waiting ended, there was nothing waiting for them. I ask you again, who owns the life of a man who gives it away one paycheck at a time, only to die uncertain, unfree, and unremembered? You must understand this. Slavery has changed its costume, but it has never left. The chains are no longer metal. They are made of routine, of debt, of low expectation, of unexamined beliefs. You were told that the system works if you follow it. But what you were not told is that the system was never designed to make you rich. It was designed to make you useful to someone else's wealth. I will not soften my words. I am not here to encourage you. I am here to awaken you. Because until you see the truth of your condition, you will never walk free. You have been lied to. They told you to work hard.
That is disturbing. It reminds me of a hamster wheel. Like, no matter how fast you run, it just keeps spinning faster and faster, going nowhere. Talk to me, guys. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Did you feel that or what? I mean, how else are you supposed to escape the Matrix? It's a master trap they got us in.
Tartaria began to disappear from the maps, all in the same year. Coincidence? Tartaria was not a myth. It was a vast, ancient civilization with advanced free energy technology, great architecture using sacred geometry, a harmonious way to live with natural law, knowledge of the ether. They buried Tartaria, literally, with mud floods, natural disasters, and a new history. Once they buried the old world, they created the new one. Central banks, slavery by debt, maritime law, artificial scarcity, indoctrination through education, all funded by the same families. The Rothschilds didn't just fund empires, they funded restarts and deleted everything that didn't serve the system of control. Tartaria was way too free, way too advanced, way too powerful. So they turned everything upside down. Free energy became fossil fuel. The truth became a conspiracy. The spirit became religion. Nature has become a resource. Freedom became an illusion. 1776 wasn't the beginning, it was the cover. We are the generation that rediscovers what they tried to delete. Tartaria was real. The ether is real. And the truth is no longer hidden.
Definitely an interesting theory. Don't believe everything you hear or see on this video is strictly for entertainment purposes only.
All right, so this is shocking. This guy was doing a slow motion recording in his house and he didn't think anything of it. And then when he rewatched the video, this is why he uploaded it, it's capturing the flicker from the LED lights above him. Most people don't know LED lights flicker on average between 100 and 120 times per second. So he has this slowed way down, and what that does to your eyeballs, to your retinas, to your circadian rhythm, causes many things. You want to replace these with incandescents or with halogens, anything but LEDs or CFLs. It's not good lighting.
So this is shocking.
This is going to be for entertainment purposes only.
That our phones are doing that we had no idea it was doing, and it's doing as we speak, literally as I'm recording this video. It is doing it. Yours is doing it too. It is shocking. Optogenetics. Do you know what this is? It's a biological technique to control the activity of neurons or other cell types with light.
Phone every few seconds is literally taking packet data of information from your camera in the front and your camera from the back.
Now watch this. So this guy has a special camera that can film. It's a night vision camera. And this woman's on her phone. This is the name of the camera.
I did some research for you, and I found a video of a scientist explaining optogenetics and exactly how it works in the brain neurologically.
Cells called neurons that are built into very dense intermesh networks that communicate. Each of these neurons computes using electricity. The cycle implements behavior and thought and emotion, all these different kinds of things. We also think that deficits in these electrical computations underlie many brain disorders that affect over 1 billion people around the world. In optogenetics, what we're doing is we're putting molecules that convert light into electricity into neurons, the cells of the brain. Then when we shine light on those neurons, light gets converted to electricity and allows us to turn on or off those cells.
And it's not just random, it's actually very specifically controlled impulses.
These molecules can convert light to electricity, and they do it just in the neurons that we want to control. And for example, if we can turn on a set of cells, we can figure out what kinds of behaviors can it initiate. If we can turn off a set of cells, then we can delete it momentarily and figure out what it's necessary for. So by being able to...
So this is shocking.
This is going to be for entertainment purposes only.
Man, we need to go back to writing letters by mail, don't we? Carrier pigeon, something. New Zealand's parliament was briefly paused on Thursday. What's going on? She's looking crazy. What's going on in New Zealand, y'all?
No, not that. The guarantee was that would not be taking place. is suspended. No, not that.
I don't understand what they're saying, but one thing's clear. They ain't having it.
Now, at one time, did these mythological creatures exist? Because there has to be a truth to all these stories, right? And if they are true, are some of these mythological creatures still living even up today? Because you cannot tell me that all these people that have had experiences are all lying. Now, at one time, did these
A satyr?
But look at this giant petrified hand that was found in Iran, guys. Now, do you guys think that this is just a natural rock formation or something else might be going on here? I mean, you can even see the indents from the knuckles, the fingernails, the little lines that we have right here on this hand. Many of us know that the Nephilim were petrified and turned to stone. What do you guys think? Peace and love.
How many fingers can we count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe?
They say the first of the American railways wasn't built, they were dug up. Like you can see in these photos of them obving out a railway. Even if half of this is true, that brings up a lot of questions. Can we trust what they've been telling us? Can we trust what they have taught us?
What's that show on Netflix? I believe it was Hell on Wheels. You mean to tell me that entire thing was fabricated? I don't know, man.
The first of the American railways wasn't.
This is the Vertigan family from Massachusetts, and what you're looking at is a photo from a birthday celebration at a restaurant. During this celebration, the Vertigans get a little rowdy, they're a little loud. It is 13 of them, and over to the left, you can barely see, but there's a couple sitting at another table, and they keep looking their way. Now, as the night goes on, they continue to get a little rowdy, and the couple keeps looking. The Vertigans notice the couple, and they start to think, maybe we should wrap this up. We're not really sure what type of energy is coming from that table, so let's go ahead and sing happy birthday and get on with it. So they sing happy birthday. During the song, again, they get a little loud. Like I said, it is 13 of them, and the couple keeps looking over. After they sing happy birthday, the woman of the couple leans over to one of the Vertigans and says, "Hey, today is my husband's birthday as well." And the Vertigan said, "Say less." They grab a cupcake, they throw a candle in it, and they sing happy birthday to Tony, which is the woman's husband. They all sing happy birthday. He blows out the candle. They cheer for Tony. Then one of the Vertigans says, "Hey, Tony, how about we do the same thing, same place, same time next year?" Tony looks at them and says, "I don't think so." At that point, the Vertigans go quiet because they're not sure what he means by that. So then one of them flags down their waitress and says, "Hey, that couple over there, throw their tab on ours. We want to pick up their bill and their tip." The waitress comes over to the couple and says, "Hey, don't worry about dinner. The Vertigans have taken care of it." And then all of a sudden, as the Vertigans were gathering their things, getting ready to leave, the woman comes up to them and says, "Hey, you all have no idea how special this was to us tonight. We just left the doctor and my husband was given a terrible diagnosis and they're not sure how much longer he has to live, but you all made tonight so special for him." And at that point, everyone got emotional. And there was just an amazing exchange of energy between the two families. And I think this is dope. This is just a sign that shows you never know what people are going through. You never know what's behind someone's look. You never know what kind of news someone just received. But they were kind, they were generous, and they really poured into Tony and his wife. Man, I think this is a real dope story. This is the Vertigan family.
Thank goodness. I thought this was going to go sideways for a second. Man, I love to see it, man. We definitely need more stories like that. Ending on a good note. And that's all we have for today's video. If you made it this far, the code word for today is his story. History. If you put that in the comments below, that lets me know you're a real one. You made it all the way through the video and you really rock with your boy. I just want to say I love you guys and I appreciate your I appreciate your support. This was the most disturbing videos on the internet today. See you later.